Trees and Turtles. My name's Imogen, and in today's video I'm sharing how mental health affects your productivity. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So mental health is something that's very close to my heart because I have had, since I was a teenager, well, probably for my whole life actually, a series of mental health issues including anxiety and depression, most notably anxiety. And I am also the kind of person who is obsessed with productivity, as you can probably tell from the entirety of my channel. And so I've always been interested in the intersection between those two things, because sometimes I found that mental health has hindered my productivity, often, and sometimes, weirdly, I found that it enhances it. So the first thing I want to talk about is focus and concentration. So obviously, when you're anxious, you're depressed, it can be really hard to focus, and I remember, like, when I was in sixth form, it was just painful some days to try and make myself sit at a desk and study, because my brain was just like, it was 30% there. And so it can really decimate your productivity because you can just sort of like not want to do tasks or not feel able to do tasks. But then sometimes, especially this is the case with anxiety for me, it gave me like hyper focus. I would be so anxious about an assignment that I could literally think about nothing else until I completed it. So I think these are two like quite common reactions, and they're both very valid, and also if you have some other like secret third reaction, entirely valid as well. But I just thought it was interesting to notice those differences. Something else was energy levels. So I found that depression, obviously when I'd go into a depressive episode, this could go for days or weeks, then I would, like, my energy levels would crash, and it didn't matter how much sleep I got, how much water I drank, whether I ate healthily or whether I ate trash, my energy levels would be on the floor. So it was definitely a mental health thing. But conversely, when I had anxiety, so these are like two sort of monsters battling for domination in my brain, but when I had like severe anxiety, and that was the sort of dominant mental health issue at the time, I would like go into hyperactivity and I would hardly sleep, I would be on the go all the time, I would get things done like one after the other. So sort of cycling between those two extremes has been kind of a roller coaster, and like outside factors didn't necessarily affect my energy levels as much. Let's talk about decision making a little bit. So mental health issues I found sometimes they slowed down my decision making, because my anxiety would be like, oh, what if this, or what if that, or, you know, and I'd make a choice and then I'd be like, did I do the right thing? What if I regret it? So that kind of thing really sort of made me second guess myself a lot and made me struggle with decision making. Let's talk a little bit about creativity. So I've found that often depression makes me not want to do anything at all. My brain feels like a blank space. I'm sort of like plunged into a deep, dark pit of nothing, basically. But my anxiety will sort of like make me extremely hyperactive and creative and everything like that. So creativity, I found, has massively fluctuated over the course of my many years with mental health issues. Something else that I want to talk about a little bit is interpersonal relationships. Obviously, it's not directly related to productivity, but I tend to find that when my mental health issues get worse, I isolate myself. And that's actually bad for my productivity, because I found that when I isolate myself, I tend to, sometimes I get a lot done, but most of the time, if I'm isolating myself, I'm not going out of the house, I'm in a very sort of hypoactive state, and I'm not really motivated to do anything. So I think that there is a social link there to how much I'm talking to people and how productive I am. Physical health, if I'm not going out and about and like I'm not touching grass or seeing daylight or using my legs to walk me around, then also I feel sad, and then I do not become as productive as I would otherwise be. I've done a video on going on a little mental health walk, which is something I massively recommend. If I remember to link it, I will. But physical health can impact your productivity a lot, and like just how physically well you feel in yourself as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, I mean, obviously ongoing health problems play a role, and I would rather someone else more qualified to speak on that does, because I don't have any chronic physical health problems, but chronic physical health problems. But anyway, physical health can definitely affect productivity, and mental health can impact physical health, so there is a link there. Okay, time management. I think this is the last thing I want to talk about. When I have been depressed or anxious, I found that there's usually a negative impact on my time management. And when I'm depressed, it means I waste time and I don't get stuff done. But when I'm anxious, it means that I'm overthinking my planning. So I'm like, have I planned my time in the most efficient way possible? Or I will sometimes procrastinate on something by doing something else. I'm like, this is productive, but it's not actually what I'm supposed to be doing. So my anxiety sometimes makes me avoid things by procrastinating by doing other things, which sounds productive, but it's not. So these are the ways that mental health has affected my productivity. If any of these resonated with you, I would definitely encourage you to go and get checked out. Like, if you haven't already, I've been to the doctor, I've been to therapy, I've been to hospital, I've been on meds, all of those things and more, and I will probably make a video, if I haven't already, on like coping strategies for mental health and so forth. But anyway, that's all for this video. These are the ways that mental health has affected my productivity and how they may affect yours. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that. Give this video a big thumbs up and follow me on Instagram. Alright, love you all. Bye!